for a stream of high quality.
Mm.
What? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin Roleplaying. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir, and I will be your host and game master for this episode 135 of Brise's Tale. As always, Max, my good buddy, long-term friend, is here to play the beautiful and talented paladin Brise. Max/Brise, say hello to the good/absent people.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful night joining us for this episode 135.
Yes, indeed. We're doing sort of some slightly logistical stuff that hopefully we can wrap up fairly quickly. And then it'll be on to more plot matters than mere logistics. You are in the city of Pesidarius. It's the capital of the Mannish nation, the Axia. And why don't you remind us why you're here?
Brise is here. Well, I mean, it's a crazy cool city, first of all, but here specifically because I came across research notes, or traded for some research notes that indicated the catacombs beneath Pesidarius are home to a certain one of the sites of the nine stars, which is the faith that I follow, an offshoot kind of cult from the major religion of the land, and so discovered that this site exists here in the catacombs. So I managed to find someone to teleport me here, and before I start exploring the catacombs and trying to find this site and do my own research, we are trying to make sure I can get back to the major city of Convergence, where most of my other tasks
your
are happening.
Irons in the fire are,
Yeah.
a lot of irons in the fire and contacts are there.
And we know that Brise can teleport 180 miles, and we know that Convergence and Pesidarius are more than that. We've been at a temple looking at their maps and found actually a good midway point that should be within my teleport range. There's a Mount Curloof that's about halfway between Pesidarius and Convergence. And there's also a town not far from the mountain called Janowig. And there's a priest who's willing to teleport me there momentarily, actually. So
yeah, we did some off-screen playing, and he looked at maps and measured distances, trying to find a midway point that his teleport could reach. Found one, but there's no real town nearby, and so asking for directions is difficult. So he did find a landmark that was nearby, and it's fairly easy to find. And the priests then volunteered the information. There's someone here in the temple, an elderly archivist, that might be able to assist in teleporting him to that town, because that's the archivist's hometown. And so hopefully he visits often enough to have a sharp enough memory of the town to teleport Brise there.
Should we give him a quick memory test?
Yeah, you probably ought to gauge it pretty carefully.
Also, welcome Quinn says tonight's episode was filmed before an undead studio audience. That explains our low view count. Actually, we probably have thousands of viewers. They're just
didn't
register on the algorithm.
Hey, that's interesting. Are you kidding me? Oh no, I clicked over to see Quinn's text while I was typing out this caption, and I think it just deleted the whole thing.
Oh.
Really?
Unacceptable. Restream. I mean, Talk Studio. I mean,
man, that makes me really mad. All right, dadgummit. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Got little burps going on. All this stream, you're going to be blessed with my uncouth manners. So, So yeah, so the and what's at stake here for you in terms of your sect? Why are you interested in following up on this location?
This one specifically, or do you mean just generally about
Well,
the location?
generally, but of course, this one's a big
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah. So we've discovered that in my original, well, according to what the faith I was taught, that these magical sites were points that could, through some spellcraft, could awaken magic in everyone in the world. Magic is seen as this potential that is unlocked in some people unfairly, and not in others. And
and the present day faith, the main religion in this region, is responsible for oppressing people's
that's
natural magic abilities.
right.
Uh,
Um, which is that's something I always kind of forget to role play, and that I would kind of feel.
and
It's weird because Brees does like respect the clergy and does respect structured faith, but also in the back of her mind, right?
they
Um,
have a major element wrong. Is
yeah,
really how you balance that view, right? I mean that they they have this tenet now, and presumably too. There's also simultaneously mistrust because you're believers such as yourself, part of the Nine Star sect. They believe that um, um, they believe that organized religion is oppressing the people and depriving them of this magical birthright.
right,
Um,
right.
and so,
So
um,
yeah, and we know that this site beneath Pesidarius, the notes taken by the wizard Oshekra, the notes I obtained from him, detail um, that most of these sites were actually trying to put together a type of spell, a mass spell of some sort that would gift everyone with magical abilities instead of awakening some latent ability. It was actually thought that they could grant the magical ability at these sites. And this was one of the first ones Oshekra had come across, and also one of the largest ones, I believe.
yeah, and certainly the clearest to get to.
Right, right, right. And
Tons of detailed,
some of them he mentioned were like, yeah, much harder to access. So
right. Um, we're gonna start using the footnote function in Google Docs and like, oh yeah, we mentioned this in episode such and such, and that way we can hop back and forth and read up on the details. Um, so yeah, so we've got a potential way to transport you to this smallish town off of a road called the Miners March, which cuts through the midsection, sort of the northern midsection of Theaxia, and there's a range of hills that bisect the country, and this was a major mining road back in its height. It's largely fallen into disuse now. There's very little left in those hills, or so it is believed. Um, what would you like to do, Max? What's next on your agenda? Talking to the archivist?
yeah, I think so. We'll see if he's free and willing to take a donation to teleport me to Janowig. It's about
Um,
mid morning, by the way.
okay. So um, they take you to the archive section. It's in a separate library, which does not surprise you. They have you wait in just sort of one of these sort of seating areas. You see lots of young acolytes coming and going. You see paladins in full dress coming and going. It sort of gives you that feeling of being back in the mix of things, back in your home temple.
Yeah.
Um,
We're at a temple of Vatterdam, by the way, which is a goddess of death and roadways and gambling.
um, there's clearly intermittent groups um, of paladins coming in with injuries. There's been some, and I use this word in the broadest term, some sort of adventure afoot that they've been involved in violence of some sort. They're clearly coming from some sort of healing station. The ones you're seeing are bandaged, walking with canes, walking with crutches. They carry some of their garb as though they've been undressed to be examined and so on, and so it's hanging from their arms and so on. What is our older gentleman's name? Do we have a name for him? We did we not?
Yeah, you named him
Mumlin.
Mumlin.
That's right.
If he's not a gnome, then I don't know. What I just realized there's no gnomes in that I've encountered.
Yeah, there's not gnomes as a established civilization,
right?
Possessing and so on. I had them in there originally, and I just realized, I don't know that they really add that much. Really, I mean, once you have halflings, and as a nod to Tolkien, I definitely want halflings.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know that gnomes really add anything. You got your big three, and then you throw in halflings and a couple of bad races, you're kind of done.
All right, I'll just tell the gnomes that they've been excluded from.
That's right. That's right. It's separate but equal. So
gnomage.
That's right. Apartheid. Which is legalized segregation. But anyway, the wait is considerable. You can smell lunch being cooked downstairs. You're impatient. You strike up conversation with people. The buzz around the temple is that a temple ship was attacked by pirates, and that there are going to be 2 temple ships outfitted with clerics and priests to see if they can retaliate and try to bring the pirates to justice. And joining them will be 2 Navy ships. So that's kind of interesting and exciting.
Yeah. Why would I just ask? Why would pirates attack? Why would pirates make an enemy of the temple? It seems very.
They don't care about making an enemy of the temple. They care about that. And so,
right. I assume there would be easier, less conspicuous targets. But I maybe.
Well, if you
maybe
can,
just that brash.
You see the cost of various magic items and weaponry, and the temples produce it.
That's
right?
True.
And so it's high risk, but it's very high reward.
Yeah.
Let's say it was a ship going down to the southern wilds to provide potions, scrolls, and some basic armory goods for a newly founded temple down there, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's thousands of gold worth of items, which would greatly enhance the power of a pirate, not to mention reputation for taking on a temple ship. Also, with the temple ships, you have little knowledge of this, but if the temple ships are as nice as some of the nicer temples, then that's a hell of a ship to add to your fleet.
That's true as well, yeah.
Finally, Mumlin does come out. You are introduced by a acolyte who walks with him. He is hunched. He is rather infirmed.
Mm-hmm.
And he bows to you very deeply and asks what manner of lore can he assist you with.
Actually, if it's not asking too much, I am interested in teleporting to the town of Janowig. And I had heard that you are familiar with the location and capable of teleporting there.
It is my hometown. What's your interest in Janowig?
I tell them that I'm actually trying to reach convergence, and the skill of my arts doesn't allow me to reach there in one teleport. So I'm hoping to use it as a midway point. We're getting between here and the other city.
I am no handsome cab for you to hire. And glares at you.
I say, well, of course, it would come with a very generous donation to you and to the temple for your time and effort and skill.
Roll for me and see how well you deliver that line.
66. I kill him.
That's true. That is one of the deadly rolls in Rollmaster.
Oh.
So, you want to take out some coinage?
Yeah. How about I give him...
It's a man of pride you're dealing with here.
10 gold for him and 10 gold for the temple?
It's a man of pride you're dealing with here. He probably makes that a day.
Really?
Yeah, probably easily.
Are you sure? Really? I thought the priests get like a couple gold a day. I don't know. I always forget.
It's tough to think about, if you think about what the value is of his pride, does that help reshape it? If you set aside his wages altogether.
Okay. I'll give him 40 gold and give the temple and a 10 gold donation to the temple as well.
Turns and walks off.
Wow. Okay.
The young acolyte.
That's annoying to me.
You're gonna go beat him up. Roll that 66. Let's take him out.
Well, no, I mean, I was so Brise would be quite annoyed at that, and said that say loudly that I didn't think it was in the temple's the temple to refuse service to someone in need of help for something so simple as well.
He turns on his heel and storms back at you. The acolyte has to, run to steady him. And he says, you don't want help. What you want is convenience. And people your age need little enough of that and should work for what they have.
Oh my God.
That's right. You millennials. Awkward.
Fine, I'll just call an Uber. Get there instead.
Exactly.
I mean,
He again turns on his heel, walks off.
I guess the acolyte who introduced me, I say, is he always like this?
And she nods. She says, I've heard him talk about it often enough. You should be able to reach it on the road. It's directly off the Miners March, which is north of here.
Well, if you need something done right, I guess you do it yourself. And
You're just stuck with no time, unfortunately. Um, I mean, you could do that, but it's, you know,
how many? Well, how many? I asked her how many days, by foot is it traveling there?
she doesn't know, but she does tell you there are maps available in the temple.
Right. I mean, when I was looking at the map, did I get that? I guess I could just go back and check, right?
I mean, you could see it being at least 2 days to reach the town.
Well, how long do I have? I need to be back at the keep. Let me see here. Checking with Athene on the morning of the 3rd, and it's only the 26th. So if I really need to march there, I can do it.
Right. And you could find a caravan or something, and something that might not get waylaid, heading up the Old Coast Road, and then you can take a turn on Miners March and let them go on. So
yeah, okay. It sounds like I'll just make some preparations and take off down the Old Coast Road. And
although you still have you spoken? Have you gone to an adventurers guild? I can't. You have gone.
I was at an inn that
Right.
was kind of friendly to adventurers.
Right. So you do have. So there is the adventuring angle where you could just go and just ask for either the mountain or the town, and anybody who's familiar with those might be able to get you there. By the same token, it would save you some time if someone just knew the intersection of the Miners Road and the Miners March and the Old Coast Road. That would be
right.
Very helpful.
Okay. I mean, we can go to the adventuring guild and try that, or find an adventuring guild.
Yeah, your guess is, wow. Yeah, it may be. So you ask her for the location of the adventuring guild. She does know of one several blocks away, but fairly straightforward in getting there.
Okay.
So off you go. Roll to navigate.
16.
Takes you a little while, but you do get there.
Excellent.
Early afternoon. Enter the adventuring guild.
Okay.
It's called the Rabbit's Run.
Right next to the Turtle's Trot.
That's it. One's outdoing the other, but we won't say which one's which. Wait, where is? Oh, no, that is it. What's going on with that? Hey, that's not cool. Can I break this somehow? Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. There we go.
Also, am I still in like the center of town, or did I kind of go towards the edge?
No, well, here you'd be sort of be at the edge of the center of town. It is several blocks away.
Okay. So I'm just noting down, where
yeah,
locations are. Yeah.
Let's do this. So this is due north of the temple.
Okay.
Wow, she is tall. Holy crap. Bouncer at the door of this very high-end adventuring guild. Female adventurer. Her height is 170. So I am really curious how tall that makes her.
170-foot woman. No.
Dear God, 170 makes her an even 7 feet. Wow. Incredible. So, yeah, so she asked to see your badge. If you have
Nice.
any,
There, I would love to obtain one and membership.
what's her? Memberships here are not purchased, they are earned. You can talk to the keep inside, or you can pay an entry fee and get a temporary badge for 1 day.
I ask how, well, I guess I'll pay the entry fee and talk to them. How much is the fee?
10 gold for a day.
I want to see if she's lying to me. What's my feel about this person, if they're trustworthy or not?
Roll it up.
Because that's how much it costs like a year, 65, and other adventuring guilds.
But, of course, that's her. That's not her. That's would be a business's incentive for, for choosing, for.
I know what you mean, but it's also like, it's crazy. Although I'm not that worried about money, I just want to make sure I'm not duped.
Not only is she not lying, you would be surprised if she ever lies. Her countenance is a cool stream. How attractive is she? Well, not great. She's just sort of average, but for an elf, that's never bad.
All right, I'll pay the 10 gold. I was going to pay 50 to the temple, so this is
still a deal, right?
Yeah.
She does put it directly in a cash box, like she doesn't pocket it and make you doubt yourself. She takes out a key and unlocks the door.
Wow.
The key is black and silver and is not something you would find in an ordinary pocket. I'll tell you that much. She gestures and lets you in. Very nice inside. Very full inside. Standing room only. There is song going on. There is gambling going on. The common room is 2-floor with an open section in the second floor to look down at what's going on above. The gambling is mostly upstairs so that people can't look down and see your cards or throw things and drop things down onto dice tables and ruin a game. The song is mostly downstairs. There is not a fire in the fireplace. There is a fire creature marching back and forth angrily in the fireplace. This place is worth the price of admission just to see all of this stuff.
Wow, okay.
Familiars are out and about, including several very strange ones. There's a large, beefy-looking butterfly about the size of a hawk. Its wings are so thick it doesn't really seem capable of flight, but it is there hovering. But surely not by the power of its wings, or at least not by any aerodynamic principle you're familiar with. The keep here, man, I've got to turn that back on. Is a half-elf, continental, robed, male, bald, clean-shaven. What's his age? Looks to be younger than you, but there's something about his eyes that tell you that is not true. You sort of, he sort of looks you over. You sort of just show him your temporary badge. And he nods very slowly, takes a draw on a pipe, and gestures to the common room, saying, everything we have is yours, kind of a gesture.
Right. I ask him about how does one earn a more permanent membership?
There are certain feats that you can choose from. All involve the catacombs.
Okay.
The most dangerous of them, but the one that is most prestigious and grants you the most benefit,
I'll take it,
is called the Rabbit's Run.
Okay.
I will tell you that if you complete it, it will change you. Physically, magically, emotionally, one or more of those will occur. But obviously, day passes are always an option. They come with the fewest privileges. But I hope you feel that even that is worth it.
I nods. This is quite the guild. That never been to one as fine as this one.
Our reputation is a well-guarded and well-earned secret. And it doesn't help that we lose some members to the Rabbit's Run, even after they've completed it.
Right. Interesting. Like injuries, yeah.
What brings you here today? Hospitality is at least what we can offer. We have no rooms at present, but our service includes finding you a room equivalent to what you would have received here.
That's nice. I tell him I'm interested in reaching the town of, I'm interested in reaching Mount Curloof on the Miners' March. I was wondering if there might be someone here familiar with the place.
It is north of that point, yes. It'll be on the northern edge of the hills.
Mm-hmm.
They say the trolls are stirring this summer.
Mm. What are they stirring?
Their loins. Their loins are stirring. Delicious troll loins with troll crabs.
Oh my god. Troll crabs. They're actual crabs, just like
I'm telling
lips.
you, this is the great loss to the world that is my brother's death. Right? Andrew was such a creative soul in his own game mastering in his own way. Now he could not do the social side of things at all. The countries barely existed. They barely have names. There was no culture whatsoever. None of that. But in terms of like logically putting things together elsewhere, like in the scope of the adventuring side of the world,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I guess there would be dragon lice. And so they should be capable of biting through dragon scale. And so you think, where are we headed here, buddy? Like, what are you building up to? And he goes, well, I've been thinking about it. And so basically you would have these fleas about this big, and they would just basically just take off your shoulder, even in full armor. They would just take off your shoulder trying to
Right.
find something to drain.
Right.
And I'm just like, and you're like, yeah,
That's
I guess
really
so.
nice.
Right. Let's assume not, Andrew. How about that? Let's just go with no and roll from there.
Yeah.
But he was so good.
Yeah, like ecology and fantasy, like when they mix. There's not enough of that, I feel like.
Oh no, not anywhere near. No.
So fun when people come up with stuff like that.
So dragon crabs is in your future. That's what I'm hearing. So
okay. So yeah, I just tell him I'm looking for someone who could either give me, well, I guess teleport there would be the best option.
there are services in town that specialize in such.
Okay.
We have relationships with all of them. He says, let me see what I can do in the room. And he waves to a barmaid. The barmaid comes up. She is also half elven. And she, they exchange a few quiet words. And so she just goes from person to person, just very quietly. She's taking drinks and clearing tables, taking away dead soldiers and
Sorry.
sorry, empty bottles.
Oh, and soldiers.
And I should hop back to chat. Oh my God, why does it do that? I don't understand why it does that. So the so she points at you from one table. Let's see what this gentleman's about. I say gentleman. I should not. I'm very gender stupid that way. My apologies. A halfling woman hops down from a seat, strides over to you. And looks you up and down. And you're looking for passage, she says, in Thax?
Yes.
How much are you willing to pay?
For a teleport to a location, you give 20 gold pieces.
She frowns. Why don't we do this in a different way? Why don't you make a trading roll? Just roll and We'll
Sure.
have some haggling because you do have a skill in it. There's no point in you
Yeah.
going to it.
I mean, it is, and I was gonna say it's hard to tell, like
Sure. The
I
going rates.
just forgot it was in a fine establishment, so probably 50 is more like it, but 59.
All right. She is. You don't come to an agreement yet because she really is pushing more toward 100 gold. You're uncomfortable because she insists upon, because the only place she has there is her hideout there. So she needs to, and it's actually on the mountain. So she needs to blindfold you and then lead you down away from it.
I don't. Brise is not trusting enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So, Quinn, when we said we need passage, yes, myself, the boy, 2 droids, and new questions asked.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you. If only I wasn't basically in a room with other Jedi, then I could. That's what I should have done to the priest. I should have just charmed him.
That's true.
Although I don't know if that's a great idea in a temple with probably wards in place. Okay, so if she wants to blindfold me, I'm going to say no deal.
She says,
I asked about the village. What about the town of Janowig instead? I would gladly pay there.
all right, all right.
Okay.
We could do that. Another option, it's a little sketchier, is that I could teleport you to some place that I can remember near the mountain, but it may not work. It's just that obviously my own hideout, I'm very confident I can reach there.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I'll have the gold ready, and if we manage the teleport, then it's yours, and if not, then we can. I'll try with someone else.
So how much you're going to give? You're fine with 100?
Yeah.
Okay. Unblindfolded. So she concentrates for a while. She's thinking. She's like, I think I've got a clear one. She taps the bar and tells the half elf thank you. Slips him 10 gold and motions for you to follow her out back.
Okay, I'll follow. Also, just what's the just the general vibe I get from her?
Roll it up.
Feel about her 88.
This would be what you would call kind of a rogue trying too hard to play the rogue, and they're actually a nice person.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So go out a side door, and you find yourself in a courtyard. There is there's gardens, people to walk in. There's familiars out there. Here, the name of the game for teleport is statuary.
Okay.
There are small, distinct statues at the corners of these planters. And there are benches around the planters, sort of like a mall will have a square in the middle of the walkway, right? Filled with plants. And so if you can imagine that, and there being small, 2-foot high statues at the corner of each of those planters, that's how they generate memorable locations to teleport into.
I would like to teleport from the statue of the thinker. Thank you.
That's right. And you, so she walks to her favorite one and concentrates. And teleport you do.
Okay.
And I think this is a good point for a break.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back. We're going to make this a shorter broadcast just because I'm feeling a little wonky. So we're going to run to about 8:30ish or so. And we're going to see what happens with the teleport when we get back. So you guys just hang with us for just a few moments. We're going to refill our drinks and stretch our legs. Thanks for watching thus far. We'll see you in a bit.
See you soon.
Hello, gang. Welcome back. Don't mind the white cords. They're signifying nothing. There's our buddy Max.
I'm minding them.
That's right.
Are you recharging?
My head's really bothering me, so I'm trying to make this last 35 minutes bearable. So
I'm sorry, man.
yeah, it's all right. It just happens. So my squinty look, which is I'm just pushing through. So it's a tens machine to do, like, I'm talking about a tens machine.
No.
You might like it since you do some athletic stuff and you get some muscle tension. It's, electrical stimulation for the muscles.
Oh, okay.
So they can help relax and things. I'm gonna see if it'll help this headache. So all right. So teleport. You wind up in the well, let's first have you roll. That's the first thing we need to have happen. She should roll as well. What'd you get? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. 53.
Oh dear. Got that caught. Stinging me. Oh dear God, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go.
Too many wires.
Yeah. So bit confused out in the wilderness suddenly. Take a moment to get your bearings. She has done the same. You hear a weapon drawn, and you see her take it out, and she's just watching the woods or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She takes a big whiff, and then just sort of bumps you, and then she kneels down. Would you like to follow suit?
Yes. I will also make myself less conspicuous.
I had one there. I do not. Where's that? My lord. Where is my freaking chart? I was just curious what weapon she was using, and I can't find my weapon chart. There we go. I found it. What is she using? Oh, she's using Bola. Kind of cool. She's spinning it idly in her hands, just waiting to go. She quickly puts it away, though, because it's just too heavily wooded.
Yeah.
Takes out a dagger.
I whisper quietly, what's out there?
I was checking for trolls, she says. I don't smell any, but we didn't wind up exactly where I wanted. She rises cautiously. She puts away the dagger. She looks around, and she points behind you. You turn, and there's Mount Kerloof.
Cool. Okay.
She's like, not quite as I promised. I apologize.
This is more than good enough. Thank you.
Pay her.
Mm-hmm. 1 mithril.
She bows. And she mutters a spell. Off she goes.
Great. And then I will make sure I'm all geared up. All my weapons are pulled out of my bag of holding.
So you gear up as though adventuring.
My belt.
And let's talk about what's in your hands.
I'll have my... actually, I need to check because I did buy some stuff. my sorcerer's spear. Sorcerer's spear. That's hard to say. I have my sorcerer's spear and my target shield of sluggishness in my hands. Need to remember. So the sorcerer's spear acts as a class 1 staff, which makes all my spells cast through the spear slightly better.
Yes, you get a +10 to every spell roll now.
Yes. Which is,
and your fumbles are significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to spend most of a week in regular attunement to it to unlock.
Oh, that's right. I haven't started that because I bought it today.
But straight off the bat, you get fumble reduction.
Okay.
And you get bonus to all your spell rolls.
Need to make sure. Yeah, okay, I have those equipped too.
You have found literally the only spell casting aid that non-full spell users can use.
They call me Brise the Lucky. Fantastic. Let me note down that I need to attune to this daily.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I'm going to start making my way up the mountain, right, and just find a
to the mountain, and then whatever you'd like.
Right, to the mountain, and then find a good spot up on the mountain that's memorable.
All right.
Teleport to.
Heading straight toward it as best you can. Terrain is not letting you do that. The earth here is red clay, fairly rich as there's lots of vegetation. You are forced to go down a gully for quite a ways. And you hear the flutter of paper in the distance. And the sound is coming ahead and to the left. I don't suppose there's any reason for additional caution, but what would you like to do?
Just, walk more quietly. Try to get a view of whatever this thing is.
Well,
I guess paper fluttering on the wind, it might just be something left.
That is definitely a page of something. Not torn out or anything, but there it goes. There's another. That one's caught in a tree. Oh, not caught in a tree anymore. There it goes. Okay.
Okay.
For the next 100 yards or so, working your way down this gully, there are pages fluttering in the breeze, and eventually you come to a satchel hanging from a tree. And a wind will blow, it will rock, and it will just scatter pages to the wind, and off they go, filled with writing, sometimes diagrams.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I don't know why my untrustworthy brain is like, this is a trap. But
Has it ever been a trap?
it hasn't so far. So
No,
I'll
I
just
just don't
go
play
up.
that way. It seems
And,
dumb. Game masters who do that. I mean, it's like, well, we could do that all day, couldn't we? Here's something interesting. Oh, it's a trap. Here's something interesting. Oh, it's a trap. Here's something interesting. Oh, it's a trap. Like the stupid mimics or whatever.
that's the thing, Kevin, is that's like, I'm always going to think it's a trap. Unfortunately, it's just ingrained into me.
It's
However, I'm
bad
going
game.
to play as if it's not a trap, and I'm going to just take the satchel off the tree.
Make your way up out of the gully. You do get a glimpse of the mountain. You've not made as much headway as you want. It is a very small mountain. I mean, it's really a big hill. It's really what it is, surrounded by other hills. And you've just been pushed all over the place by the contours of the land. The satchel is very high end. You're able to climb up just a couple of boulders and then reach for this limb and then pull it free. There's only a handful of pages left. It's the beginnings of a manuscript. You would guess this satchel, given its so basically we call it a large pouch, basically. Okay, it's very well tooled. It's got designs burned into it. Geometric, largely, although there is one of a sun breaking through clouds and casting this beautiful series of rays down onto the lower scenery, which is a farm with bounding furrowed fields. But your guess is, I mean, a satchel of this quality is probably 100 gold.
Wow.
It's also magical.
Just made my money back.
Right. I mean, it's sort of weird. Yeah. It's magical.
Well, that's what my first idea is. It can't have been left here long. So whoever left it here might still be very close by.
But who would hang it and leave it unlatched?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of weird going on here, but just taking a peek at the first page of the manuscript, and it is the first page of the manuscript.
Okay.
You see the term, the World Stone.
Oh, okay.
That was a double aught roll, by the way.
Wow.
That got me to
For all
that.
our viewers, I believe we saw some writings regarding a world stone in the Temple of the Iron Empress, right? That one room that had coded writing on the walls, detailing on they thought they could make a world stone using the portals in that temple.
So I am going to, let me think about this. I think I'm going to do it this way. What I'm going to do, so you find yourself, shocked, obviously.
It was a trap. It was a trap of knowledge.
I'm going to email you the first page of this manuscript.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is open it up when you get it. And this is the wrong place. Good Lord, where am I? Oh, I'm on the wrong account. That's no problem. And I just want you to read as much of it aloud as as you're interested in doing.
Okay.
And concentrate, Kevin. Come on, buddy. You can do this. It is in here. Oh, dear Lord. And I'm going to send you more of it as I finish it. So you should have it.
What project have you committed to, Kevin? Right.
Hopefully only about I don't know, 6 or 8 page.
I mean, yeah, most of the pages are gone. So there we go. World Stone document. Oh my goodness. Okay. The World Stone, an investigation by Franey Kotra into the Iron Falls device conducted on 138 5th R at Master Exana's tower and following the notes of the stone's presumed creator. I'll read the first paragraph. Introduction. At Master Exana's direction, I began my investigation into the stone in late winter, as the materials we awaited to continue to the reinforce Bornin's defenses had not yet arrived. It is with some trepidation that I agreed, as Master Exana's own expertise in these matters is considerably greater than my own, though I hope I can say my interest easily matches her own. Okay. Goes on to describe what a world stone is, or at least the Iron Falls device, which I guess is a world stone. Hold more than 30 faces on this stone. Astounding 22 active faces, 14 labeled and 8 unlabeled. What in the world? Okay, this just, wow. All right. This is literally, I remember like being in University of Florida and like just pulling a book off of like a library shelf and opening up to some random page. And this is exactly what it feels like. Wow. Okay.
Perfect. Okay. That's the feeling I wanted was Quinn saying, now would it be funny after all this talk if it was in fact a trap? Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's the it's a trap. What's that guy from Star Wars? Yeah. Akbar. I get it. It's Quinn Akbar FTW. That's
okay. Well, I will put these papers very carefully back into the satchel and take some time to read through these.
Yeah, and I'll get you more as I'm gonna try to do about, I don't know, 6 or 7 pages.
Yeah,
in that style you're seeing, and then that'll literally be a document you can hold on to and reference and things like that.
That'll be awesome.
So, all right. So
the satchel is also magical. Did you say?
Yes, it's
I didn't
magical.
Write that down.
So it's grants plus 15 to scrolls.
Wow.
I should say plus 15 M.
Mm-hmm.
And scrolls, when fumbled, deal 5 less damage.
Wow. This isn't just 100 gold. This is really valuable.
So, yeah. So it was a crazy positive roll for something that you were involved in tangentially from pretty far back. Was sort of the way I sort of gave it a time roll, like
yeah,
you know. And so, so yeah.
I guess I should check. So the year it mentioned 135 5th reign. Is that this year?
No,
you are in the 5th reign, right?
You are. You're in 730 something of the 5th reign. 730.
Oops. What year is it?
So yeah, it's 500 or 600 years ago that this investigation was begun.
Right. There's maybe a copy of that original notes or something.
Right.
Okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, I'll grab this satchel. That's really great, actually. And I mean, again, just look for a sign of if there's anyone who
I mean,
left this here.
you could call out.
Yeah. I'll just call out saying, hello.
No answer. You look around for like signs of a campfire. You look for smoke on the horizon, things like that. There is smoke on the horizon, but it's too broad and too blurred to be anything other than a town. So that presumably is Janawig.
Right.
And you know what's going to happen is you're going to go to Janawig, and that's the trap. The entire town is just a trap. You know,
Trap town.
that's old trap town. So you continue making your way as best you can.
Yeah.
The rest of the terrain will let you. You know, at first your thought, oh, I'll be there in a couple of hours, and now your thought is, I would love to be there by nightfall. You know, be at the base.
We should back up. Did I get lunch at the Adventurers Guild?
We probably should do that. You know what? I'm gonna throw it in for free.
Okay.
You made them some money, so we'll say he ordered you lunch for free.
Gotcha.
And so you find you stumble upon a more direct route. You're working your way definitely with more speed.
Okay.
And at this point, you're sort of thinking, if I just find some distinct looking area, I would be fine to do that.
Right.
Nothing is coming up though, so it may be to the mountain you go. You're definitely now in the valley of the mountain. Things have been quiet thus far. You did notice that the halflings sniffed first, before doing anything else.
Right.
And so you're like, I never really thought about using my senses as fully,
Mm-hmm. To sniff the troll stank.
Yeah, no kidding. So you make it definitely. I mean, there's the mountain. You're in the valley. There are creeks running down off the sides, small little rivulets of waterfalls, and so on. You sort of feel like maybe it's time just to make a mark or just to teleport up the mountain somewhere. Although, you don't feel like crowding that halfling if they've got a hideout somewhere.
Right, yeah. I was thinking that. So, sure, yeah. We can make a mark on the ground. Just use some wood to like arrange a pattern. Some logs.
And sort of drive it into the ground, just sort of make it permanent and interesting, maybe even score the logs in some interesting way.
Yeah.
And then you're hoping to teleport where?
To the Convergence Adventurers Guild would be optimal. I can make it there. Well, I guess we know I should be able to make to Convergence, right?
Yes.
So I don't really need to test that, or should I?
Look, you don't know, so technically anything you do now is a test.
Let me test it, just because magic does work in strange ways sometimes. So
yeah, that's certainly one of the cornerstones of this game is that you shouldn't take things for granted.
Right, even if it says it's in my range, we'll give it a try and make sure I can actually get there.
All right. So you're aiming for the Adventurers Guild in Convergence.
Right.
All right. Roll it up, sir. Using your spear.
Yes, using my spear, taking my time, making sure it's
Okay.
successful casting. 30.
Okay. That's good enough. Now memory to get where you want. Sort of
Right.
memory and concentration, really.
74.
No problem. Boom. You are back in Convergence.
Nice.
So add to your list of locations now for your memorized locations.
Right. Branches. So if I already have 7 spots, right? So I'm gonna have to kind of remove one.
Yeah, you're going to essentially have to say, all right, I reliably,
Right.
I can't teleport now to this location. And
I'd have to just try to recall it. But
Right.
It wasn't in that list. Yeah. Memorize the spot. Success. Okay, great.
oh, you know what? I need to. I always forgot. I always forget. Why don't I do that? As always, I've posted, finally remembered to post our notes and so on to
Yes.
to the
Can't forget the notes.
I always forget, but it's also in our notes in the description of the YouTube video, so you can always go there and watch, see the sheer body of work that we've accomplished over 3.5 years or so.
Yeah, quite a body of work.
So, I think I've told you, everyone keeps debating transforming hers, which is paper. It's like that thick, and she's debated turning that into a novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm still 6 days ahead of schedule before I need to be back at the keep. Could just get back to Pesidarius and maybe start going into the preparing for the catacombs then.
That's true.
If I feel like I've done enough today, maybe we'll just call it a day here in Convergence, spend the night.
Right. I mean, so we could. I mean, of course, you could buy things here and then go there. Either way, but that does sound like something maybe we should try to handle off screen.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was just in Convergence yesterday, so I shouldn't need to buy anything.
No, I was thinking for Pesidarius, if you're going to prep.
Oh, right. And you're right, because there are some preparations I need to make. So
yeah, not a ton, but we want to take up stream time with that. So,
right.
So maybe we'll figure out a time to do it. So, shall we wrap up here then?
Yeah. Well, if we want to do, can spend some time attuning to my sorcerer's spear. That's one thing.
Okay.
Do real quick, and then maybe we'll wrap it up.
So you just sort of go inside, you take a seat, and this is not like, and you're welcome to mark this for experience. This is unlike any other tuning you've ever done.
Oh, okay.
It's very involved. It's a very complex magical mechanism that you have to bring under your control. So let's talk about so you're going to get bonus to range, bonus to duration.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if yours is a PowerPoint or a spell point store.
10 points of spell store.
All right. So the spell store, your influence spells get a boost from it as well. I think those are the big 4. Which of those 4 do you want to start focusing on to bring under your control?
Sorry, could you say that again? It was influence, range,
duration, and the spell store.
Would range refer to like the cast where I cast it, or is it like teleport range?
No, the range of how far, the operating range of the spell.
Duration would probably be the most useful. That's the one I tend to run out of the most.
Right. Okay. So you're working on duration.
Okay, and I'll write those 4 down. So duration, spell range, influence.
So give me a roll.
25.
Yeah. So not successfully yet under your control. But it will add 10% to your range, 10% to your duration.
Okay.
When you are able to master those abilities, and you'll get another attempt later on today, and we can have you do that tonight whenever you lay your head down, and we should be able to do that at the end of whatever off-screen session that we do for your prep work.
Yeah.
Because it does sound like you're going to have most of a week now to explore the catacomb and
Yeah.
So,
a week is a good amount of time because you never know. I might get knocked unconscious for like 2 days.
that happens.
Well, it's time to go.
Yeah. When you know it's bad when your hunger is what pulls you out of such a deep unconscious state.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right. Well, gang, we're gonna call it early just because I'm feeling crummy. And but thanks for joining us. We always appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be back in Pesidarius next week, and maybe really start some sword swinging and so on, and that'll be a hoot. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us. If you think we're doing a good job, hop to DonorBox and send us a little love. If you want to hear more from Max, and you really do, he's really quite skilled, and hop to his YouTube channel. You see the short link right there where he discusses the role of music and original soundtracks in video games. Thanks as always to Elliot Denovitz for their terrific character art that we use almost on every stream. If you want to see more of their work, then hop to artstation.com/Tortolua and take a look. And I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far that you can find on Amazon. Thanks, guys, for everything. Max, say goodbye to the lovely people.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this session, and tune in next week for some exciting exploring, hopefully.
So, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, thanks for everything. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.